I'm Lauren and welcome back to my craft room. Today I have a more masculine card using the Let's BBQ? Let's BBQ? How would you say that? We're gonna go with Let's BBQ set from Lawn Fawn. I made this card here with the sentiment Relish the Day, and I used the grill with the hot dog and hamburger as well as some condiments. So follow along and I hope you enjoy this card. Here are all the stamped images from Let's BBQ. I used jet black ink because I colored them in using my Pro Markers. I die cut them out on my Scan and Cut. I decided on a gray card base that I picked out from my stash because I thought it would match the grill the best, and I am trying to make a more masculine card. I have two different background papers, and I cut them out using the large and small stitched rectangles. I'm going to be creating a scene on my background, so I have different stencils, the Cloudy Stencil, the Grass Stencil, and the Hillside Stencils to distress my scene. I use my grill to figure out placement as I'm going to separate the porch where the grill will sit, as well as the grassy yard and the sky. Once I have my stencils laid out how I want to, I use some low-tack purple tape to keep my stencils in place. My grass is distressed with the Distress Oxide in Mowed Lawn. I move my Hillside Stencil up, making sure to leave a small amount of mowed lawn exposed. Next, I'm going to use Distress Oxide and Black Soot to make that asphalt porch background. I wanted to leave a little bit of the grass so that my black soot blends in with the grass and you don't have a white line in between. Next, I move my Grassy Stencil down so I can distress my sky. Using the Cloudy Stencil and Distress Oxide and Broken China, I distress different parts of the cloud to make a cloudy sky. I brought out Speckled Egg because I thought maybe I would do kind of an ombre sky, but I like my Broken China and I just stuck with that. I moved the stencil in different spots so that way I can get different cloud effects in my sky. Once I was done with the clouds, I used the same Distress Oxide and colored in behind the grass. Again, I made sure to leave a little bit of grass showing so that way my blue blended well with my green and I didn't have a white outline. Now that my background is done, I spritz it, and I'm also going to use some liquid Stardust from Lawn Fawn. Even though it's a masculine card, I can't help but put some type of shimmer into my card. Is there anything that you always have to include in your cards, no matter who it's for or what it's for? Let me know in the comments what's your go-to for all of your cards. Next, I want to create a picnic table scene for my food, so I'm using the Petite paper pack of Perfectly Plaid paper. It's pretty sad that I'm just opening this because I don't even know when I got it. I flip through and find the best color that matches the freebie I got from purchasing from Lawn Fawn of the Really Rainbow paper. I thought that this green and blue worked best with all of the colors in the card. I thought I would use a wavy stencil to cut it out, but it wasn't quite wide enough without getting a wave, so I decided upon using the simple Hillside stitch border. Once that was cut, I trimmed it and cut it out with that same rectangle to make sure it fit well and had the same stitching on the card. Next, I layer my distressed background onto the rainbow paper. And I'm going to pop up my picnic table to the front. This will create some dimension with my grill in the background and my food closer up. Now I need to decide which of my images I wanted to use. I don't know if you spotted my little guest in my craft room, but I had this fly that would not go away. You know those kind of flies that get in your house and no matter what you do, you try to kill it, you can always miss it, and then it disappears and you find it in a different room an hour later? Yeah, that's that guy. He was driving me so crazy, he decided to even make an appearance in this video. As I was laying out all the different images, I was trying to figure out where to put that vegetable kebab, and I ended up just taking it out. I guess this barbecue isn't a very healthy barbecue. Hot dogs and hamburgers only, no veggies. I'm glad I cut out the different tools for the grill. I think it added a lot to the top of the card. I didn't want all of my images to be bottom heavy on the card. I would like to note that I did use a couple smiley faces from different sets. I used Rarsum and one of the Village sets. I picked which ones worked best for the grill and the condiment bottles. Now that my images are in place, I use foam tape to adhere to my card base. When I started this card, I wasn't really sure what I was going to do as a sentiment. I decided to use the same gray paper for the background, and I would emboss the sentiment "Relish the Day." I wanted the words separate, so I stamped Relish, cleaned off my stamp and made sure it was dry, and stamped the day in different spots in Versamark ink. I was paranoid about accidentally stamping Relish, so I used a post-it note. I used white embossing powder on the sentiment and heated it with my heat gun. Once they were dry, I trimmed the paper just outside the words of my sentiment. I'm happy with the way they look, and now I need to figure out where I'm going to put it on the card. I like the idea of stacking them to the right in that open space. I trimmed them down so that it would fit to the edge of that yellow pattern paper. And I popped them up for some dimension. Here's the finished card. I really like how it turned out. I resisted putting more glitter and jewels. I hope you enjoyed this card and it inspires you to create something yourself. Let me know in the comments what you think. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and thanks again so much for watching.